We are in the month of June, and the president promised us that we are supposed to get cheaper gases by latest June. So I was asking if we are allowed to go to the State House to pick the cheaper gases that the president promised us as the hustlers and the mamambogas. Welcome back to Vana Media. My name is Boniface Owino, and as usual, I'm going to be your host for today. I have got two top stories here to talk about. Number one, there is this Saboti constituency member of parliament, that is Caleb Amisi. Caleb Amisi said something concerning the issue of Ndindi Nyoro, Kipchumba Murkomen, William RUTO, and Rigathi Gachagua, and he combined it with Musalia Mudavadi together with Moses Wetangula. And I would like to read it for you so that we talk about it. This is what Caleb Amisi said. Caleb Amisi said that more than 100 MPs from Central and Rift Valley meet frequently to plan for Ndindi Nyoro as deputy president in 2027. They are sent by the president, after which another team will plan for Murkomen, and another by that time Mudavadi and Wetangula will be 107 years old and still waiting to be given the presidency on a silver platter. Musalia Mudavadi was promised by the president that he will vie for the presidency coming 2032, in which he is supposed to deputize William RUTO coming 2027. But Caleb Amisi is telling us that 100 members of parliament that comes from Rift Valley meets in Central to discuss on how they can make Ndindi Nyoro to deputize William RUTO coming 2027. The other time we had Rigathi Gachagua saying that there are some leaders, there are some young MPs that come from the Rift Valley, and they meet in Central in Mount Kenya, and they mislead one young leader, and this one young person is Ndindi Nyoro, of course. So they are trying to tell Ndindi Nyoro that he is capable, he can deputize William RUTO. And I want to say this for free. I'm repeating it again because I said it in one of my videos yesterday, that Ndindi Nyoro is good, but the mistake that William RUTO will do is to drop Rigathi Gachagua and take Ndindi Nyoro or any other person to deputize him. That will be the end of the road for William RUTO. You know what William RUTO is thinking is that he can drop Rigathi Gachagua, and then after dropping Rigathi Gachagua, he can go ahead and take someone again from the mountain to deputize him. The target of William RUTO is very simple. William RUTO normally targets that if he thinks that maybe you have got something that you are like a weapon that he can use, he will take you. And that is why when he was choosing his deputy, he was choosing Rigathi Gachagua as his deputy. He dropped people like Kindiki. He dropped people like these Ndindi Nyoro that people expected that will deputize him. He dropped people like Kimani Chungwa, people like Anne Waiguru by then. Why? Because he wanted someone who could attack Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta. He wanted someone who could mistreat Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta, and that person was Rigathi Gachagua. So right now, after using Rigathi Gachagua, he wants to drop him and pick another person, maybe to use again, to mistreat another person and then drop him again. So the circle continues. And what I know is that even if Ndindi Nyoro will be picked by William RUTO to deputize him coming 2027, Ndindi Nyoro cannot succeed. Ndindi Nyoro, no one will elect Ndindi Nyoro, let us not lie. And I think there's a time that Ndindi Nyoro even made a mistake of going to Nyanza in Bondo. When he was saying that he has been sent by William RUTO, Bondo is their home. Are you seeing? So those are the mistakes that William RUTO and Ndindi Nyoro are doing. And these people that are misleading Ndindi Nyoro, they don't know what they are doing. And the president is aware. If suppose the president is not aware of what is going on, he could have spoken about it. The reason why the president is quiet, is silent, And surprisingly, the president cannot even come out publicly to defend Rigathi Gachagua as his deputy. And he said that he will not allow anybody to mislead or mistreat the deputy president. But instead of coming out to defend his deputy, he's coming out to defend those who are attacking his deputy. Musalia Mudavadi and Moses Wetangula. They think, just as the Akamisi have said, they think that this thing they will be given on a silver platter. They should take a look. They should have learned from what happened with the Raila Amolo Odinga when he was told that he's going to be the president. What happened? Did he get it? So politics, nothing comes on a silver platter, not unless you come, especially in Kenya, not unless you come out public, not unless you come out to push yourself. You have to push. So those who are misleading, so Ndindi Nyoro should be aware and should get prepared. And anybody that is getting into war, a tug of war with the Rigathi Gachagua must be very keen. Because Rigathi Gachagua is not someone that should be assumed. And another story is about this issue of Rigathi Gachagua traveling to Mombasa using a flight, carrying his own bag, one man, one bag, one flight. And surprisingly enough, right now things are really happening, and these matters are not even supposed to be discussed in parliament. Like seriously, how does MPs, members of parliament, instead of discussing the issues of financial bill, you end up discussing deputy president in parliament? How do you end up discussing deputy president? People like Junet Mohammed, people like Kimani Chungwa, how do you end up discussing the bag that the deputy president was carrying and the escort that he had? Suppose if he did not have any escort, if he did not have anybody, these things, and you're even asking what the bag carried, that the deputy president could have not even given to anybody to carry it for him. So are you seeing things like this?
The deputy president was also very well secured yesterday, and I can confirm that to the country. He had with him not less than 19 bodyguards, 14 of whom he was to travel with on that aircraft. Therefore, he had no problems with people to carry his bags. Let nobody think that the deputy president had problems on people to carry his bags. He had not less than 3 photographers. I think the only unusual thing that happened yesterday, Honorable Speaker, and maybe that may have gotten the attention of the Honorable Jared Okello, was the deputy president towing a bag, a new bag, brand new bag, as the Honorable Junet says, that could not even fit into the compartments in the aeroplane, towing the bag and posing for a photograph. But unfortunately, I think, Honorable Speaker, on matters touching on security, the deputy president was also very well secured yesterday, and I can confirm that to the country. He had with him not less than 19 bodyguards, 14 of whom he was to travel with on that aircraft. Therefore, he had no problems with people to carry his bags. Let nobody think that the deputy president had problems on people to carry his bags. He had not less than 3 photographers to take the photographs, Honorable Speaker.
Majority. Yes, Junet, what's the point of order?
Mr. Speaker, I wish to ask the majority leader whether he's correctly saying that a plane that was to carry 60 people, 14 were supposed to be bodyguards of the deputy president in that plane. Can you tell the parliament in broad daylight that 14 were members of his security detail out of 60 members, a third of the plane, and cameramen and the other things?
Honorable Speaker, the information I have, the deputy president did not just appear for the photograph. The deputy president was driven to the airside with his full security detail, including the presidential guards that guard him from the wrecker squad. They were there with him. There were adequate, not less than 14 officers traveling with him on that plane, including photographers, security men, bloggers, protocol people, including the former MP Fonyeri, who I hear is a chief blogger in that office now, Honorable Speaker. Therefore, Honorable Speaker, I was just making the point that the deputy president was not short of staff and personnel to carry his bags, including photographers who are taking those photos, Honorable Speaker, and therefore his security was not in question at all. Two, Honorable Speaker, in terms of the dignity and honor that comes with that office, Honorable Speaker, I think the Deputy President had this flight paid for by the government of Kenya using taxpayers' money. And to give his office the honor and dignity, those who are keen observers did observe he was seated on seat 1A of that flight. The chief blogger in his office, the former member for Nyeri, was seated on seat 2A. That's in the business class, Honorable Speaker. And others, including his security officers, I think 2 are seated in the business class with him, and many others were seated in the economic compartment. And therefore, let me assure the country that the Deputy President within that flight was very safe. There is nothing unusual in him taking commercial flights. Indeed, many of you who attended the National Prayer Breakfast will remember His Excellency the President affirming that out of the austerity measures that government has instituted and which we effected through the Supplementary Appropriations Bill.
Discussing Rigathi Gachagua's tour to Mombasa, someone who is going for a conference. You are in parliament, you've been elected, and that is why you end up, and that is why these guys end up calling the voters villagers. Why? Because they have got nothing to discuss in parliament. They have got nothing tangible to discuss in parliament. That is why they end up saying all things in the parliament. That is all I have for today. And just a reminder, if you're meeting for the first time, please don't forget, you can take a minute, go to the subscription area, click the subscribe button. You can also like and share. And you can also tell me you're watching us from, as I normally say, that feedback is normally the key thing, any form of communication. You can tell me where you're watching us from and how these videos are reaching you. And until we meet again, I've been your host, Boniface Awino. Bye-bye.